Hello and welcome to my presentation about the six wives of Henry VIII. I would like to start this off by giving some background information on who Henry VIII even was before getting into his wives. So Henry was the King of England and the Lord of Ireland, and he also eventually became King of Ireland, but he was most famous for having been married a total of 6 times in his life and having two of those wives beheaded. He became king because his older brother passed away and he was next in line to the throne, so Henry was never originally meant to become King of England. Of his brother Arthur, Arthur's fiancée Catherine was assigned to marry Henry instead, as she was simply planned out to be the next Queen of England. They got married and they were married for a total of 24 years, during which Catherine got pregnant a total of 7 times. She sadly only had one child that lived past infancy, a little daughter that they named Mary the First. Henry was not very happy that they only had one daughter because he was looking to have a male successor. Therefore, he started looking for reasons to end their marriage and eventually started an affair with Catherine's lady-in-waiting, Anne Boleyn. Henry started an affair and eventually even got married in secret while Henry was still married to Catherine. After the divorce with Catherine was finalized, Anne was recognized as Henry's wife and got crowned Queen of England. She gave birth to a little daughter named Elizabeth I in that same year, but was sadly arrested on accusations of adultery and incest a couple of years later, leading to her getting beheaded. After his wife Anne Boleyn was executed, Henry got married to Jane Seymour, who he was very happily married with. She even managed to give birth to a son named Edward VI, which Henry was of course very happy with, as he now finally had a male successor. She sadly died 12 days after giving birth, due to a fever that she caught while she was pregnant. His third wife, Jane Seymour, Henry was looking for a wife to keep his status up high. So he sent out his right-hand man to look for a beautiful woman from any European city that he could marry, and eventually they landed on Anne of Cleves from Germany. Anne of Cleves had recently been painted by an artist named Holbein in a very beautiful portrait. So when Henry's right-hand man saw it and told Henry about it, he was very excited and wanted to meet her immediately. He was very disappointed though when he finally met her and realized that Anne was not as beautiful in person as she was on the portrait. They did get married, but they got divorced in that same year, after having been married for just 7 months. Married to Anne of Cleves, Henry got interested in another woman named Catherine Howard. Catherine Howard was the cousin to Anne Boleyn, Henry's second wife, but she was also the lady-in-waiting to Anne of Cleves. So while she was living in the palace, being the lady-in-waiting to Anne, Henry became very interested in her to the point that they got married in secret. After the divorce with Anne of Cleves, he officially recognized her as his wife and she got crowned Queen of England. Sadly though, just about a year later, Catherine was arrested for adultery and she was also beheaded. Then came Henry's final wife, Catherine Parr. So Catherine had been married before, but her first husband had passed away, and she had started an affair with Thomas Seymour, Jane Seymour's older brother. Thomas wasn't known for being a very good man, so when Henry met her and saw that she was involved with Thomas, he felt sympathetic towards her and proposed to her to get her out of that situation. They got married not too long after, um, and everything was going pretty well. But Henry passed away a couple of years later, and Catherine obviously outlived him. So she remained queen for a bit longer and even got married to Thomas Seymour, who she was previously involved with. And that is everything I have to say on the Six Wives of King Henry. So I hope you enjoyed this and thank you for listening.